What is up, comic fam? Welcome to Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today we're going to be taking a look at next week's new comic book day, and there are some bangers. They are bringing the heat. They are dropping the big books. Cannot wait to get to them. But first, check this out. Let's kick it off by thanking the sponsors. Be sure to check out BigTimeCollectibles.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook. Don't miss out on the awesome stuff they got going on all the time. They just dropped that amazing Death of Superman Anniversary Special Edition. You don't want to miss out on that. Check to see if there's any left. You might get lucky. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up our friend Justin Comics over on Instagram. Link is in the description to all of my videos, to all the sponsors. Cannot thank you guys enough. Be sure to use that promo code WeAreLegion and take advantage of the special offers that he's got running all the time. You do not want to miss out on any of those savings. So getting right into it, this coming week's new comic book day is stacked. It looks like some of the bigger books, the event books and stuff, are all hitting the shelf at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off, starting off with Batman issue number 127. This is the third outing by Chip Zdarsky. We're still in the failsafe storyline, and this is this new robotic entity that's came up out of nowhere and is attacking Batman and the entire Bat family, and it's really got him on the ropes. We're going to see how this plays out. Jorge Jimenez is still on the artwork, doing a phenomenal job. That's a really cool cover. He's definitely a great artist, and it's a fun story. I'll be honest with you guys, I definitely prefer the Detective Comics line right now over this. This is a dynamic, very action-packed story, but I don't know. Batman comic just seems super gimmicky to me for the past year or two or so. Like, it's just rolling out this new villain that amounts to nothing in the long run, but it's still a fun read. Like I said, it's dynamic. It's got a backup with Catwoman still trying to find the Penguin's kids and all that stuff. So if you're keeping up with that, you don't want to miss out with that. I think that the last issue had some first appearances in it of some of the Penguin's kids. But anyways, next up, big boy book, we've got Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. So starting with this issue, we've got it being retitled with the On Infinite Earths on there. And this is supposed to be the issue that they were teasing at San Diego Comic-Con, where we're getting the rebirth and reintroduction of the Infinite Earths in the DC Comics universe, which I still feel like, and again, another gimmicky kind of thing, which some gimmicks can definitely be fun. We'll see if this one is. We've been in the Omniverse since the beginning of the Infinite Frontier era, so we've already had infinite universes, but needless to say, this Dark Crisis event has been definitely fun. Tons of callbacks to DC Comics history, and it's pretty much a direct sequel, is what they say, to the original Crisis on Infinite Earths. But we have Pariah kind of bringing his plan all together. We've got Barry Allen back out of the story that was taking place in The Flash, so it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here now that we got more players on the board. Next up, the sleeper hit, Flashpoint Beyond. This is probably the biggest Dark Crisis tie-in, and they're trying to pretend like it's not. All the Easter eggs are there. All the clues are there. So with this issue, we're supposed to be getting the identity of the Clockwork Killer. Thomas Wayne is going to be facing some major revelations, and we're really going to, I think, start seeing how this is going to have a lot of connective tissue to the primary Dark Crisis, or how this is going to tie in. Why does this universe even still exist? We're going to find out next week in Flashpoint Beyond issue number 5. And then from Marvel, we've got Ghost Rider issue number 6, and right there on the cover, Ghost Rider versus Wolverine. Enough said. So that last issue, this is kind of continuing from that. Up until this point, they've been kind of individual issues that kind of just keep playing and setting the tone. And this one has got, we saw where Wolverine saved Ghost Rider in the last issue. They're in the Shadow Country Hell Highway race that they did. But we're going to see these two if they fight, or if they're able to team up to kind of figure out what this Shadow Country is. I've really been enjoying the whole individual issue episodic feel of this. It's had that horrific, very fine-tuned storytelling issue to issue, but that last issue was really wonky. So we'll see if they get back on track with this one or not. Next up, another good one, Punisher issue number 6. I know a lot of people were up in arms about this. This isn't Punisher. They're ruining the character. It couldn't be farther from the truth, and I recommend all those people to go back and actually read the story and not just the headlines or the first issue. But we have Punisher going straight on at it with Ares, the god of war, who sees him as his greatest disciple and is trying to bring him into the fold. So the Punisher is completely turned on the hand at this point, and he's out for blood for everyone. I cannot wait for this. The interiors on this is some of the best interiors I've seen on a monthly. I mean, it's definitely top notch, which isn't par for the course with Marvel. But here's a fun one, not serious, not too much to it. It's just New Fantastic Four, issue number 4. It's one of the throwback stories that they're doing. They've got a lot of these lately that take place in the 90s or the 80s or wherever the original run was set in. And we have the team just still trying to figure out what dark entity is setting Las Vegas on fire, basically, and infecting all the population just to be violent. So this has been fun. I'm actually an issue behind on this one. I'm kind of getting a little bit behind on some of the reading, but I look forward to catching up. Maybe I'll read some of it while I'm taking a little road trip this weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I can get caught up. Next one, and this is one I'm really excited for. This is the DC Black Label Prestige format. It's called Batman Dear Detective, written by and illustrated by Lee Bermejo. And from my understanding, it seems like this is going to be a collection of his cover art. He's been the B cover artist on Detective Comics and gets random covers all throughout time across the board. But this is supposedly a collection of his cover art put together and then presented in a story format. So if that's the case, this guy is super crafty if he's had this in mind the whole time he's been doing all these covers for a while. But either way, pump for it. Lee Bermejo's art is insane, and getting it in a prestige format with that top quality paper and everything is just going to look outstanding. And this is one that's been on hiatus for a while, and it seems like it still is with this title, Dark Knights of Steel, Tales of the Three Kingdoms one shot. So this is just supposed to give us some back history and some crucial stories on the three characters, Superman, Supergirl, and Batman, as they were growing up in these kingdoms. To be honest with you, I couldn't care less for this title. I am going to pick it up. I'm going to read it because I am following Dark Knights of Steel, but I don't need a layover book about these people being little kids. And I'm definitely not a fan of that cover art. If that's what we get on the inside, I'm going to be even more bummed. But I'd rather just get back to the main story and play it out. I don't want this backstory. I don't want all this little ground setting. I like just having the main story and knowing what we know inside the pages of the main story. A lot of this book, and what's good about it, is the mysteries that are set up and the intrigue, wondering who done it, who could it be, where is this going, what is the dynamic of the relationship between some of these characters, and they kind of just don't need to add to that. So more or less, this feels like a cash grab more than a necessity, in my opinion. Next up, I'm super pumped for this. Starhinge issue number 3, again, written and drawn by Liam Sharp. And this is his book that was like a decade in the making. He's been working on it for a long time. But we have Merlin working with this entity from the future, trying to go back in time and find and save magic in order to save their race in the future. And we're just going to be continuing that story. And there's really not much more to say about it without going into heavy spoilers or spending 20 minutes trying to describe this huge plot that we have. And then finally for this week, very excited, Black Adam, Justice Society Files, Atom Smasher one-shot. This is the third installment in the prequel to the upcoming Black Adam movie. Of course, I'm going with the movie photo variant cover. I've been picking up the A covers as well. These have been giving a lot of really cool groundwork and context to what the Justice Society looks like in this universe. It also has introduced us to things like Intergang and given us some of the back history with Black Adam and his son in Kandak, in ancient Kandak, where it's just been really fun. I can't get enough Justice Society characters. I'm super pumped for the movie, and I learned a while back that these little movie prequel books that come out all the way back in the time of like Spider-Man stuff, they really give you a lot of really cool stuff. It's one of those things that take nothing away if you don't read them when you see the movie, but they give you so much extra little Easter eggs and tidbits. But definitely excited to get that, excited to get it in hand and pull out my McFarlane figures and get some photos and post them online and stuff. It's just enjoyable all around. So that's going to be it for this week. What's on my definite read list, on my pull list, on the Legion list. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're picking up, what you're excited about. Is there anything that's not on my list that you just think I should be reading? Let me know if there is, and I'll try to give it a shot if it's something I can pull off. And if you want to know what my top pick for this coming week is going to be and why you should consider picking it up, check out the Comic Vets channel. Every Sunday, he posts a video that him and I put up where we give you our top pick for the week, going in blind, and why you should consider picking it up. And a huge shout out and thank you to the Augusta Book Exchange. They are the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is safe and secure. Every week when I get there, you'll find no better customer service anywhere. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody checking out the video. Do not forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Consider joining and becoming a member. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.